is Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we get into a different band, different artist, and we break down one of their records. We get into the lyrics, how it was made, and everything in between. My name is Tyler, and way out there, hundreds of miles away, is Jeff. While you're listening, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. If you're watching on the YouTube, you smash that subscribe button, dude. That's what the kids say. And this week we are continuing with prog season. We're going really, really strong. And honestly, I don't know, we might be going for another few weeks. We're really enjoying ourselves.
It's like no end in sight.
I know. We've already got 3 weeks after this planned out, and I don't see why we wouldn't do the next three albums. We're obviously going to finish with I'll just spoil it. The last record that we're going to do for prog season is King Crimson in the Court of the Crimson King. That's going to be the ender for prog season. But we have 2 bands between then and now, or 3 technically because we haven't done this episode yet. But so what are we doing this week, Jeff? What band? What album? What are we doing?
We're doing Gojira, From Mars to Sirius Black.
Yes, we are.
Sirius.
And yeah, you don't like Harry Potter, so you're making Harry Potter references. But that's okay. That's okay.
Muggle.
Well, okay. So so we're doing Gojira, and this is their what, third record? Yeah, third record.
Third record
from 2005. This is a record that a lot of people really love. A lot of fans love this record. This is a go-to for them. This is a concept record, which we'll get into the whole theme of it all, and we're gonna really get into the lyrics on this one. I think the lyrics are the most important part of this record. I think they're not better than, but just as good as the music on this album. And honestly, I have more notes about the lyrics than I do the music. So let's get into our origin story with Gojira, and then first impressions of this record, and then we'll get into the banger. Well, I have no bang. I mean, I think all the songs are good, but are we gonna do this sequentially?
I feel like we probably should, because it tells a story.
True.
And it would be easier that way to get everything out. I didn't list everything as a banger. I just kind of did like my top 4 things. Yeah. But I do think everything essentially needs to be here. I don't think anything's out of place. I think everything serves a purpose. Whether I list them as bangers or not, like, I love the songs. I did. I liked it all.
Agreed. So let's get into the origin story with Gojira. What do you got? Go.
Just one of those we could talk about, like, oh, I heard this song from here and this person, but like really what did this for me was the Paris Olympics. Gojira's been a band for a long time, and they played metal for a long time, and I never cared. But when I saw them play that Olympic opener, I think it was the opener in Paris,
of the Olympics,
and they're like fucking on the balcony of some. Who gives a fuck about anything in France, really? But some historic France building, and they're like on set. I was like, what the fuck? And then at some point they had a pirate ship come through, and I was like, dude, this is so fucking cool. This is not just like musically, I thought it was badass, and they captured my attention. But also just like aesthetically, like they put a lot of effort into making this look fucking badass. And I'm happy they did that. And I think I watched it live, and I don't know why, but
I didn't watch it.
I kind of got into like the Paris Olympics thing, and I don't remember why, because Olympics are kind of dumb. And I've watched 0 Winter Olympics. I don't know if they've started or not, but I know they're talking about it. They have started.
Week. Yeah,
because that one Lindsay girl got fucked up when she was like skiing or some shit, and I watched that.
Oh, okay.
When I say I watch it, it's more like I'm scrolling, and then like the video pops up, and so then I watch it. It's not like I seek it out. But anyway, the Paris Olympics was kind of like, fuck yeah, dude, this band's kind of badass. And then I realized that the Fortitude records, like, oh, that's the same band from the other record that I listened to that people loved that I did not like. But then I started listening to a little bit more. And then we did this Prague Week. And oddly, that thing on Instagram that I sent in the group chat popped up during Prague Week, right? Or Prague season. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
I sent this drum track in for the Art of Dying.
Oh, yeah.
And you were like,
yeah, maybe that was like 2 weeks ago. Maybe that was like 2 weeks ago, yeah. So we were in Prague season. Yeah,
that was weird. Yeah, so maybe Instagram just knew, like, yo, dude, you probably will like this band if you actually gave them a chance. So I gave them a chance, and here we are. I fucking love this shit.
It's great. I'm glad. Yeah, that was really the thing that sparked this doing Gojira, because that video was really cool. Just breaking down the time signature, the beats, all that kind of shit. It was good. And also, so the building you're speaking of in Paris is the the conciergerie. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correct, but it's on the Seine River. I don't know how to pronounce any of this. I'm not French at
It's a
all.
sign.
The Seine River. Okay, yeah. So this has been around since like the early 1300s or some shit like that. It was a prison in the 1400s, but it was famously known for imprisoning Marie Antoinette, who was beheaded, and that's why in the performance there's that woman, the headless woman, when Gojira were playing. So that's what that was in reference to. So there you go. But
So sick.
and the song they were singing, or the song they performed, was Mea Culpa, which was which was a song from the French Revolution. So there you go.
Dun, 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 dun. Is that the French national anthem or some shit?
I have no idea.
It's either theirs or fucking England. I don't fucking know.
I only know the U.S. national anthem because
It's the only one that matters.
Yeah,
Fuck yeah. Why would you know anyone else? All other national anthems are dumb. Straight up. Are dumb.
Stupid. Oh, it's all so dumb. All right, so my origin story, yeah, they're a band that I've known about for probably 20 years, but I've just never, maybe I've heard a song here and there, and it never really clicked with me. Even like the performance at the Olympics, I thought it was cool, but it didn't make me want to take a deep dive into them. The only record I had ever heard prior to this week was their last record, which was what's that fucking record? Fortitude. Yeah, that's the only record I've heard in its entirety prior to this week, and I thought it was fine. And even this week, after listening to it a couple times, I still find it to be okay. They're way better records.
I think it's crazy that you don't like that. I should say don't like, but like you don't appreciate how fucking just huge that like Paris thing was.
Whatever.
That was insane.
It was fine.
Dude.
It was totally fine.
Like they're playing on different balconies or
I know.
pyrotechnics. Like that is so fucking wild. Like they were all honestly, they were all in on this.
Honestly, it was like no different than going to Disneyland and watching like Fantasmic.
Oh my god.
It really wasn't that different.
So
Come on,
though.
guy. I mean, I love
Fantasmic.
Fantasmic.
It's so good.
It is. It's fantastic. I agree. It's fucking great. It's a great show.
Too bad Fantasmic has like dumb fucking Disney music instead of Gojira playing on the balcony.
But the performance was like watching Fantasmic at Disneyland. And I know we're being super hyper local here, but you know, it was was fun.
That's why I liked it. It's because it was performative. It was theatric. It was stage play on a grander scale. But yeah, that I still love it.
It was cool. It was fun. So
fucking shit that came out, my god.
So yeah, that's my origin story. First impression of this record. This record didn't hit me that hard when I listened to it because I really honestly liked the Link way more than this record when I listened to it. And honestly, I still like the Link more than this record. Then I heard L'Enfant, and I like that record way more than this one too. This is still solid. It's still a great record. But it's the lyrics, the theme, and all that I really dig about it. Almost more so than the music. And the music here is fucking incredible. There's some great shit here, but I don't have as many notes for the music as I do for the lyrics. So
I'm like the opposite. I have more notes for the music than I do the lyrics.
Okay. And I split my lyrics up into two different things. So one part of my lyrics for each song goes into the story of the album, like the story that's supposed to be told in the album. The other set of lyrics per song is what I think the song is actually about on a personal level, because I think it's a very, very spiritual song, very religious song for, what was it, the singer's name? Joe? Something like that?
Joe.
So, yeah, there you go. So do we have, I guess we're not doing bangers, stinkers, so let's just get into the first song, Ocean Planet.
I don't know. I mean, his name is Joseph, right? For Surfer Joe. I don't know if they pronounce it differently, like Yosef. Remember, like in Brooklyn Nine-Nine, when the Swedes pronounce Jake Yake, say, "Oh, Yake." So maybe they pronounce Joseph differently in France. I don't know. Maybe like French listeners.
In Spanish, it's not Jamie, it's Jaime. You know,
Jaime.
Yeah, that's the way she goes.
So you never know if it's a boy or girl when Jaime's calling you.
Yeah. Or Jorge, George, Jorge. Jesus,
George.
Jesus.
Hey, Jesus, Jesus. Yeah. Yes. Anyway, names are fun. Names are not fun at all. Like I was instantly bored with that conversation as soon as you started. Did you tell? Like I lost interest.
Yes, I know.
God damn. Literally don't care. Yeah, Ocean Planet, the opener. we'll go track by track, and then
Track by
maybe
track.
like throw in recording process
Yeah,
or album artwork or whatever as we go
of
through it. But
course.
we'll
Yes.
start from beginning to end. Yeah, no stinkers. There are a couple songs on here that if you were to piece them apart and say like, hey, listen to this song, you would think like, what the fuck, this is kind of stupid. But like sequentially in the theme of the album, dude, fits fucking perfectly. Talking about the softer songs in general, but Ocean Planet. Again, I only have like 4 absolute like bangers. Everything else, I didn't listen to the banger because I'm just not as familiar with this. So when I get to like the last track, I was like, is it better than Ocean Planet? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't know the songs well enough. So I had Ocean Planet as a top 4 banger. It's not anymore. But the song's fucking amazing. It's a heavy opener. I like its pacing. It's incredibly heavy, and it also like does what it sets out to like achieve. Like I don't know. Let's stop the opening riff to the record and just add like pinch harmonics, right? Like
Yeah.
this is how we're going to
There's
open
a
this
lot
fucking
of pinch
thing.
harmonics. On
Like
this record.
it's crazy. It's a dope song. Like it got I thought a lot of Deftones in this one. A little more kind of like traditional new metal kind of sound. Like Dobby's black metal coming in here. But also that riff kind of like brings out like a little bit of this industrial kind of tone to it. Although the song was like all over the place. It was like capturing it. It was getting everybody involved here. And the song also does a good job of just keeping the feel like of metal and I don't know, keeping like it really, really fucking heavy, but also leaving a lot of not a lot of, but a little bit of room for the dreamy esoteric kind of landscape. And that's going to come from the push and pull of the main riff, right? The ethereal, open, cleaner chords with the chaotic, nightmarish, chuggy shit. But dude, the 3.5 minute mark is when the song like really explodes and gets pretty wild. And we get that fast, broken blast beat. Dude, so much cool blast beats on this thing too. And not like,
and I'm not a big fan of blast beats, but they do it.
bro, all you like is fucking
No, I
blast
don't
beats.
like.
Your
No,
fucking
get
bleeding throughs and your
no,
dumb
no,
fucking
no, 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 no,
metalcore
no, no, no,
shit.
no, 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 no.
These guys
no,
do
no, no,
blast
no,
beats
no,
better
no,
than
no.
anything I've ever heard in metalcore.
Okay, settle
Ever
down.
heard in metalcore. Ever heard in metalcore. Metalcore is like a joke.
This
compared
drummer
to
is
just this
not better
one
than
record.
Derek Young's. I'll just say that.
Oh,
But
of course. The
I
greatest,
don't.
yeah. Oh.
I'm not a big fan of blast beats. I really don't. I like him. I like it sparingly. I accept it more in some bands like Slipknot when Joey was doing a lot of that toward the end of his career with Slipknot. I accept it more. Bleeding Through, I accept it a little bit, but overall, I don't really like blast beats. But they do the blast beats sparingly enough on this record to where it's acceptable, and it makes sense in the context of the song. It's just not overdone. They don't rely on the blast beats. I really don't like.
Yeah.
I think it's lazy. I think blast beats in a song is lazy for the most part.
I mean,
Never
blast
been a
beats
big
are
fan
just
of
a different type of riff a drummer can do. And if you're relying on blast beats to carry the song, it's like, dude, that's just stupid,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
The
There's
same
zero
way
groove.
that, like,
There's zero groove.
the same way that like a lot of people complain about Zach Wilde relying on the pinch harmonics to drive his music forward.
Yeah.
So it's another thing. But dude, they do it so damn well here. But yeah, dude, this song is unreal. This song is a perfect fucking opener. It's a great thesis statement. It incorporates a lot of different styles and genres that they will delve into on different songs a little bit more deeply. I like it. I like it a lot.
I agree. Yeah, it like you said, it's a great thesis statement. It has everything. It has the very kind of the very stoner
A little boat.
doom metal kind of trudging along, pacing to the song. Very chuggy guitars through parts of it. The constant double bass in certain sections of the song. Big ass heavy riffs, interspersed with some weird pinch harmonics, some weird arpeggios thrown in there as well. So and everything all done in this song is 5 minutes and 32 seconds long. So they condense a lot of it into this. Also, this song starts out with the whale song or the whale noise, whatever noise the whale makes. Is there a specific word for it? I don't know, but
I'm sure there is.
you hear this noise as you go throughout the record.
Oh.
Yeah, and this song starts out with it, and lyrically. So the overall theme of this record is it's about the destruction of Earth. This guy goes out to save the world essentially by astral projecting to Sirius, and then it goes to the Maker and then tries to save Earth, and that's really kind of what this record that's kind of this loose story of what this record is trying to tell. So on this particular song, it's about him having visions of the end of the world. And the only way to save the world, this vision tells him that he has to travel to this other planet, to this other solar system, and have the creators fix it. Whether this is extraterrestrial, whether this is something more spiritual, or it could be one and the same. I don't know. But he's not sure how he's going to get there. And then eventually, in the next song or two, you'll understand that he astral projects himself to this other part of the universe. So that's really what this song to me is lyrically. I think the other songs get a little bit deeper and have multiple meanings, but yeah. Anyway, Ocean Planet, killer song,
Good.
killer
Good.
opener. So we get into Backbone. This is 4 minutes 18 seconds long. Not too crazy. None of these songs are crazy long. Like when we did Tool last week, or when we did the Mars Volta the week before. And I'm gonna say this too. When we did the Mars Volta, we know that record front to back. We've listened to that record at least 100 times. So we know
easier to do.
It was way easier. So we may not break these songs down as explicitly as that Mars Volta, but that's really
in a week.
Yeah, we've only listened to this record like 3 or 4 times.
It's been a week.
In a week. So yeah, on Backbone, what do you have? Do you have anything on? What do you have on this one?
Dude, this song is heavy as fuck. It did not make my top 4, but it very well could have, or it could at some point. It's just punishing. It's pretty straightforward. So like in the first song, the fuck was it called? The Ocean Planet. Dude, there's a lot of screaming. He's just like yelling and just like just projecting and screaming and shit. Here we get a lot of cool growls. Like sometimes growls can be kind of cool. I like the way he does it. I like 120 is when the blast beats really kick up and we get like that crescendo growl, which I thought was fucking really cool. And he does it really well.
Works. Yeah.
A lot of double bass, just lots of metal in this song. Like there's nothing, like for me, there was nothing here. I do think it's like a banger of a fucking song, but there's nothing here for me to like pick apart and like, oh, this part. It was mostly just like that little middle part at like 130 or 120, whatever I said, where the blast beats start and it gets wild, and then like the normal metal, like bookends that part.
Yeah, I get it, and it's more of like the verses and the transitions, because there's not really there is kind of a chorus, and that's the weird thing about this band. They focus more on their verses, and their choruses are always like 1 or 2 lines. Like they're quick and short, and between the chorus and the verses, there's also like an instrumental break. Sometimes it's 20 seconds, sometimes it's almost 2 minutes long, and then there's always like an intro and outro. That's really how most of these songs are structured. Some of the songs have 2 verses, some of them have 5 or 6 verses, but the verses really are the focal point of the songs. This particular one, the verses are very, very heavy, almost thrashy kind of riffs going through them, and then the instrumental breaks between the verses. Yeah, the blast beat, not blast beat heavy, but blast beats are appropriately placed within the song. Good songwriting, dude. But yeah, it's a relatively short song. The bridge gets bigger, heavier, and a bit more grand sounding, and then the outro instrumental just fucking heavy as fuck. It's so heavy. Yeah, it's great.
I mean, I don't have a lot of notes for this song. I have a lot of notes for a lot of songs, but I do think this is a pretty straightforward song.
I think so too. I think even lyrically, this one is too. To me, this is like some people were saying online. This is like the call to adventure to save the planet from destruction. Whether that's God telling him, saying like you need to do something for the world, for it to like you have a platform. Let go out there and try to change the world. Or in the context of the story, it's him traveling, astral projecting to another universe or another solar system, another planet. Where first he goes to Mars and then he goes to Sirius.
I literally wrote these as far as like the story goes, but like Backbone obviously is like grow a backbone, speak out against like the atrocities of whatever you feel is happening in the world. But like in the story of from Mars to Sirius, I think this is the part where like the speaker is like prepping or actually going to start traveling to the whale city, right? But obviously the Backbone is more like you said, the call to action, like grow a pair, time to get up and get your boots on and get ready and then go out the door and do something. But in the story realm, because I only wrote my notes based on just like the story itself, because I don't know. The lyrics were cool, and the story's fucking rad.
I liked it all. I think this is one of since we've been doing lyrics on the podcast over the last 4 or 5 years. This might be top 5. Might make my top 5 like favorite lyrics from an album we've done on the pod. I really like the lyrics on this one.
Good girl.
Now, one thing I'm going to say too. The way he sings is very almost one dimensional. So there are moments where sometimes when he's singing, you're reading the lyrics along, and you kind of understand what he's trying to say. The vocals don't match the lyrics. The vocals don't match what's going on in the song, even when because there are quieter parts, relatively quiet to this band, and the vocals just don't match. They're out of place. Like this is where you need like later, like maybe even like Magma era vocals in certain sections, because it would have fit some of these songs better than he sings it. And I'll get into those sections later on in the record. It's more later in the record, but I just wanted to stop and say that. So we get it from here. We get into From the Sky, 5 minutes 48 seconds. Musically, I mean, to me this is very like Slipknot, but All Hope Is Gone era, if you're familiar with that record, their 4th record from like 08, 09. Very much more like death metal, tech metal. That's what that Slipknot record was. Joey was just an absolute monster on the drums, but a lot more blast beats, a lot more double bass too than albums prior. So that's what this song reminds me of. It's very Slipknot-esque of that era. But there's some cool shit on here. There's some really cool shit on here.
Did you rank all of them as Bs, or like did you rank them 1B, 12B, whatever?
I honestly started doing it, and then as I got like 4 or 5 songs in, and I'm like, I can't even put these as Bs.
It gets hard because like we don't know the songs that well, so it's hard to say, do I like this better? But this was my number 1B. This is my favorite song.
This is a really cool song. I mean, this is a great song.
And I think it's because like that main like fast picked guitar riff is what does it. Also, like over the slower drum beat, I think the song just sounds huge. And when the guitar riff slows down, like in the verse, to that weird. And there's actually like a term for it. They call it like the Gojira pick scrape.
Okay.
Right.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know exactly what. Is that actually pick scrape? I don't know.
So I had to watch a video of what he does, and what he does. If I had a guitar, I could show you. But like he takes his right hand and with the fat part of his thumb on the the outer part of his thumb on the close to like the tip of it, and all the way down to the meaty part of his thumb, like where the bones match the hand. Yeah. He like scrapes the fucking
on his picking hand. On his picking hand.
He just scrapes the string with his fucking thumb.
Like this.
That's it.
Like, because I have a guitar right here. Oh shit! So just like that.
No, like just pretend like you're playing the guitar normally, like in between the pickups, and with your right hand, just hit the fucking go straight down, like start from the fat string, go down.
Like I'm actually strumming, but with the fleshy part of my hand.
Yeah, but you're not like trying to pick anything. You're just making like a scraping noise.
Oh, okay. So, but you're
like,
not. You're
almost like you're wiping something off.
Got it. Okay. Got it.
And that's what that noise is. But you have like heavy distortion to it, and it's just like, dude, so many metal bands, and including shit that Soam listens to. So many metal bands like replicate that noise, and I thought that was so weird because I thought he was doing something with the pick scrape, and it's just no, he's just fucking fat thumb. That he just scrapes the in between the pickups on his guitar, and that's so fucking weird. Cool. But it's all over this record, and it's all over what he does. It's like an iconic thing that he does.
I thought it was like an arpeggio. Somebody was like some arpeggio thing he was doing, but yeah, apparently like something like super quick arpeggio that he was doing, but apparently not. But yeah, it's all over this record. It's all over a couple records too,
and that's his signature sound.
That's really cool.
But like the longer this song goes along too, like the bigger I think the relief is in the main riff, right? Because it starts off with the and then like we get a little part here and there, and he likes to that's how he sings most of the time. But then like every time we get back into the main it's like the drop gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and like how Mario doesn't get tired during this whole fucking song, because I watched one of these ones live too, and he never shuts the fuck up. Like
Dude.
double bass for fucking days.
I know.
And
I wrote that
I like
down
that
too.
all over this. I like that all over this record. He will go from like double bass blast beats to double bass and then like halftime on a beat, right? Just like, why not? I don't give a fuck. I can do it. And like the bridge, dude, the bridge is like slows to a crawl in comparison. And we get that lead riff that also acts as a solo. And again, Mario just keeps the double bass going while halftime's his beat. It's just it's wild stuffs, and it makes it so fucking fun metal.
That's what I put in my notes too. I said this is the song where almost the entirety of it is just constant double bass pedal. I mean that's really until you hit the bridge, and that's the bridge like comes like at 3 minutes into the song. He is constantly keeping tempo, keeping just like constant, just way faster than that than I was just doing right there. But
it's pretty fast though.
Just fucking constant the whole time. And then he gets that he does get the break in the bridge. But the break is short-lived. It's maybe like 45 seconds, a minute long. Yeah. And then you get into that instrumental section at the end, and he goes right back into it. Like the break is very, very small in the context of this song. It's honestly impressive. And I mean, I obviously didn't watch him play this live, but I'm sure he could pull this off live. And like we mentioned, like we mentioned in the rankings, going from their first record, Terra, to the Link, his drumming got significantly better from the first record to the second record. Like he put in the fucking work to build his stamina.
So much respect, right? Because like some guys can just be naturally good and just get better like on their own or whatever. But I don't know if he just put in the work or if he just got better. But it does sound like he got better in a sense where it wasn't like a natural, just like, oh, I'm just naturally fucking good. It does seem like he put in work. Yeah. And like I respect that so much. Like put in the fucking work, man. Put in the work, and now you're this guy. You know, like fuck, dude, you're playing the opening Olympics to the Paris. That's fucking wild.
Yeah, it is.
Good for these guys.
Very good. So lyrically, so this is where I start to split it up between two different things. I start to split it between the context of the story, the overall like story concept of the record, and then what I think the deeper meaning to the record is as well, where the songs are. So in the context of the story, it speaks of how the world came to be, how the makers came from a far off place in the universe, most likely extraterrestrial, whether it's from another solar system or from Mars. And like kind of what's mentioned throughout this record is that Mars was a failed planet. It was what Earth was at some point. Like Mars was Earth before it was destroyed by its inhabitants, however long ago it was. So that's what this song is about. It's kind of telling a very, very short, concise story of where we're going, or the beginning of the universe. Now, on a deeper level, or on a more personal level, I think this whole album is very spiritual, very religious, and I think this song it starts from being born, growing up, being fearful, full of despair, not knowing what's going on around you, like just fearful of everything, life, everything that's thrown at you. And then at some point when you're a young adult, there's that awakening that happens, that awakening, whether it's Christianity, Buddhism, whatever religion it is. There's some sort of weird, everybody has this like in their mid-20s, or most people have this in their mid-20s. There's some sort of weird spiritual awakening, and some people take it farther than others. And I feel in this case that's what this is. And this awakening happened, and it changed him for the better. And it makes sense because a little bit of reading that I did about, I believe it was Joe, the singer, after the first record, or during the first record, he was living off the grid for like 3 or 4 years in the forest somewhere in France.
That's where he wrote The Link.
Is that okay? Is that what it was? Yeah, I don't remember the timeline. But yeah, so this guy clearly is basing the lyrics off of some spiritual journey he had, whether it's Christianity or whatever it is. I feel like that's what it is. And I think the lyrics are really, I think that's what I love about these lyrics, because you could take it from the context of the story, and then also from him personally and his awakening and his view of the afterlife, which I'll get into as well, and shit like that. So I think the lyrics are fantastic. I really love it. So
that makes sense. From the sky, right? Like,
yeah.
Whether or not the awakening is you accepting religion into your life, it could also be that you've already accepted religion, and the big awakening is you denouncing religion, right? There's just, but like you're right.
true.
It was like in your early 20s when you kind of like are on your own a little bit and you're thinking for yourself and your friends and your teachers if you're in college or whatever, and something happens, you're like, you know what? Like I've been X for so long, now I want to be Y, or I've been nothing for so long and now I want to accept this. But there is an awakening at some point, like a quarter life crisis or a third life crisis, I guess.
Quarter life, yeah, I would say quarter life.
Quarter life.
But I feel like most people go through this, especially I especially think men go through this more so than women. I think
Right.
because like men have to. There's a certain expectation for men, and I don't know. I feel like with men there's more of like a spiritual awakening or some sort of major life change in your early mid 20s than women. That's what I feel. But whatever.
I can see that. I mean, it's yeah. I don't know. Growing up Catholic, I was very much in that, and then at some point, I was thinking like 16 was probably the last time I went to a conventional church, and so I guess that would still be in the realm of this because he's still percolating on these thoughts at 16, 17 when this record didn't come out then, but it's still there. Those thoughts are still there.
Yeah, exactly. So then we get into Unicorn. This is a 2 minutes 9 seconds instrumental, just a quiet, laid back kind of track. Nothing crazy. It's cool.
Here's what's it's obviously this is like the whale. I thought this is like the whales calling out to the protagonist, like don't come forget to follow us. Here we are.
Yes.
But it's instrumental, but it keeps the theme, right? It keeps the theme, keeps it kayfabe, dude.
Yeah.
Like there's I don't know. There's so much aggression and wild in the first part of this record, and this is where our guy starts to hear like the whales calling to him. So like naturally, the song is going to be more spacey and abstract. It's got a good groove to it, but it serves a purpose because we'll come back to this later on. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like the whales have a specific like communicative pattern that they do, and this is it. This is the beginning of it, or the appetizer, I guess, because later on we'll bring this back and it'll drop into some fucking heavy, wild shit. So I like this as like a setting the stage of what's to come. Even though right now, the first time you listen to this, you're like, what the fuck is this? This is stupid. This is out of place, but it'll come back later. Trust.
And because we've been speaking of whales, and especially right now, the album artwork, it closely resembles the logo for an organization called Sea Shepherd. This is a marine conservation organization that the band themselves actually really actively support and are gung ho about. They probably still are, but especially at this time, and that's why they chose to kind of use that logo for themselves on this record, and that's why whales are referenced so much on this, because I know there's all these all this lore and all this stuff about whales and how intelligent they are, which I'm sure they are. Also the biggest mammal on Earth, as far as we know, is the blue whale.
Hella intelligent.
Yeah, and the blue whale is
not
the largest.
As me, but they are intelligent.
Well, okay. But anyway, yeah. So and I think that's really cool too. And I feel like there's a movie or some story where whales they fly through space. I thought it was Hitchhiker's Guide, but it's not Hitchhiker's Guide.
Star Wars.
No, it's not Star Wars. A whale?
I think it was in Ahsoka.
Was it is that what I'm thinking of?
Yeah, the time the fucking intergalactic...
You're right, it is.
It was Ahsoka.
It was during the Clone Wars cartoon. Yes, you're right. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Maybe following the whales.
Was that...
No, it was Clone Wars. It was the Clone Wars, right? Or was
I think it was the live action.
Offshoot?
It was a live action. Yeah, because they were following the whales on their path. Remember they had to wait for the whales to come back around?
That's what I'm thinking of. That's from that Star Wars show. Yes.
Yeah. Which was like a weird scene, like in as you're watching it, but also like it's kind of fucking cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
Intergalactic Kegger whales. But it's cool because like I don't know, going back, like their cover art, I think it's all dumb except for two. I like this one a lot, and I like the Link a lot. Those are all the other cover arts I think are fucking stupid.
Yeah, they're all kind of silly. Magma wasn't bad.
Give a shit about them.
Magma wasn't bad. I thought that was kind of cool.
There's the fucking sun, like the sun from Mario in like the middle of the pyramid. Nah, that's stupid. Where are they going with this? I don't remember.
I don't know.
Oh, so this came out 2005, right? So like I think when the populace, especially in America, like what got us behind, like Save the Whales, like the whole adage of Save the Whales has been going on for decades. I think what really pushed America to really understand like how fucked up we are as humans to marine life was Blackfish. Remember Blackfish?
Yeah, yeah.
Did you watch that shit?
I never watched
like
it.
2000
I didn't.
fucking
I didn't want to be bummed
15-ish?
out. No, I didn't want to be bummed out, so I
Dude.
didn't watch it.
Like that was like fuck, man. That was so fucking fucked up.
That's
And
why I
that
didn't
came out
watch
like
it.
2015, like a decade after this. And then Gojira was already kind of like, yo, dude, we are kind of fucked up to animals in our marine brethren, and like nobody really cared until Blackfish came out. And I mean, better late than never, I guess. But it is cool that Gojira was doing it a decade before.
Yeah.
So I respect that.
You're right.
Good for them. But yeah, don't watch Blackfish, man. That's fucked up.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I know what happens, and a good friend of mine, she watched it, and she always used to talk about it. I'm like, I don't want to hear it, Gabi. I just don't want to hear it.
I don't even like going to zoos anymore.
Yeah, I don't like.
just-
I
don't know.
yeah, I never really cared for zoos because
Even though I get like a lot of zoos are rescue sanctuaries in
Yeah.
some respect, and I also get too like one of our friends on the pod. His lifelong dream was to go like hunt lions in the Sahara or whatever the fuck they hunt lions. But like you pay a lot of money to do it, and that money goes to like conserving that land, right? The protected land. Like someone's got to pay for it, and so these guys that go hunt that shit, like that helps pay for it, I guess. Still fucked up.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
And we talked about too, like if the grid went down, like I would probably just be vegetarian because there ain't no way I can kill an animal and skin that shit. I ain't got the stomach for it. I'm a pussy. No way. Ain't no way.
All right, so let's get into the next song, "Where Dragons Dwell." This song's 6 minutes 54 seconds long, very mid tempo, big huge riffs, pinch harmonics, dude. But the song
Harmonics,
also has a
dude.
very like soaring feel to it. What do you have on this one?
It's cool because this keeps like the beauty of Unicorn and just metals it up. Very very open riff, a lot of space. Mario taking it very easy with this one, right? The dun 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 dun. A lot of notes ringing out, soft pinch harmonics, not the hard that we heard in the beginning of the Ocean song. Big chords, and then we get to business as usual in the minute. I like the minute mark, but it never deviates from like the overall atmospheric heart of this song. It's more of like an anthemic kind of metal song with bits of like speedy shit here and there.
Mm-hmm.
But damn, dude, I love his verse melody. I don't catch on a lot of his like melodies because I don't think he has a lot of melody on this. But his verse melody's fucking poppy. It reminded me a lot of like Taylor Swift. Some of Taylor Swift's on like 1989. I mean, like on Blast Off, dude. My God, it was just it was good. His verse melody's really good.
Okay.
I do like how the song transitions from the traditional anthemic metal thing into the more in theme atmospheric anthem in the later part. But overall, this is a good placeholder. This is like a really, really, really fucking good placeholder.
Yeah, and I love the transitions as well between the verses on the guitar. Like there's some incredible cool guitar playing and guitar parts to really just to get in between the two things, and it nothing about this song feels dull or boring. Nothing about this song drags. I think Mario's drumming on here, the double bass, the footwork here is incredible. It's not constant, just like let's go for 3 minutes like in earlier songs. Like he varies it up, he changes it up, and plays to the song and builds the song. There's some really good stuff on here. Lyrically, I think this is one of the lyrics could go both between the story and my like personally. I think this is about overcoming self-doubt, insecurities about yourself, and then eventually bringing out the best in himself because of that, like overcoming those things, the self-doubt and the insecurities. And that's I think it fits in both. I think within the story, it's like, well, I'm scared, I'm terrified of trying to be a better person and save the planet and leave the planet to go rescue the world. So it's all that self-doubt. Like, am I good enough? And it fits both. It fits both.
It does. I agree. It's the narrator talking about his own demons, like personified in the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Right, where dragons dwell in the lair. Also, it was blank space, not Blast Off. Blast Off, I think, is a Weezer song. But blank space, when she's like, "It's gonna be forever. I'm gonna go down in
The Taylor Swift
flames."
song.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I don't know, the vocal melody in the verse reminds me of that part. But yeah, the lyrics, he's just talking about his own demons here, and if you want to do like superficial in kayfabe here, it's him like, should I fucking save Earth? Like, what the fuck is here? We're horrible to everybody, and this sucks. Whatever. But like a more deeper thing with Joe. I mean, who knows what he's going through, right? And there wasn't a whole lot written about his story. Maybe just because he didn't have a horrible upbringing like some of these other lyricists. But well, I like that. I like. It was not bad. It wasn't bad at all, actually.
No. What I was gonna say is these guys
living in France.
They lived in France, and they lived on essentially in a beach town. You know, they lived. Yeah. You know, a quarter of a mile away from the beach, and they surfed. Like these are essentially kids growing up in Newport Beach. That's really what this is.
Went to like New York at whenever he fucking felt like it to visit his uncle. So not saying that has anything to do with whether or not your music can be good or not, but because everybody goes through some shit.
But they didn't grow up in fucking Siberia, or they didn't grow up in some war
poverty.
Yeah, exactly. They grew up in a fucking beach town surfing. The Newport, I mean, I don't know. I've never been to this part of France, but
we've been to Nice.
We've been to Nice, but I think this is like more surf heavy. Nice was beautiful, but
Nice was nice.
This is like, I think this is like a surf area of France, and that's what they did. They fucking surfed. Newport Beach, or Laguna Beach, maybe of France.
Even bougier.
No. Could be bougier. I don't know.
Bougier. I don't know.
But let's get into the heaviest matter of the universe. This is 3 minutes 57 seconds long. This song's heavy as hell. Let's get into the heaviest matter of the universe. This is a pretty short one in the context of the record. That's not an instrumental. It's 3 minutes 57 seconds long. Not that much shorter. But this is a killer song. This would probably be in my top. This would be in my top 3. Actually, this did make my top 10. So there is that. The song is heavy as hell. Some killer fucking riffs. Especially during some of the instrumental breaks, and especially in the intro, the way that the drums play off of the guitar parts, I think is incredible. And also, I like in the context of the song, like lyrically and musically, it matches really well because the last 2 verses of the song, he sings it a bit cleaner, and it reflects the hope and positive feel of the lyrics on the song. I think this is a really cool song. What do you have on this one?
Yeah, I love, dude. This is my 2B, or not 2B. This is my 2B. The chuggiest riff in the universe is what this fucking thing could be. It's fucking heavy. I love the palm meter riffs. I love the backbeat quick guitar riff, like that shit, and the fact that Mario's kick is just matching the quick chuds. Right?
Why do you keep saying it like Mario?
What?
You always say it like Mario.
That's his name.
Okay.
I don't. What do you?
You never say Mario.
Mario?
Mario.
Well, I don't know how to pronounce it, so I don't want to assume that it's just Mario. It's kind of disrespectful, no?
Well,
to I don't know.
You
dilute it down to just a cartoon character.
You being worried about not being disrespectful?
Yeah, I don't want to offend anybody. Yeah, the fact that Mario's kick is just matching the quick chucks in the. See, now that you said something, now I can't help but laugh. It's wild. At first, I didn't like the clean singing, but after a couple listens, I think it serves a purpose. It's in theme of the song, of the record, and I like it. I like it a lot. Like, the song has so many wild parts, and like that's also one of them. The clean singing is one of those wild parts, and ending on a blast beat, cool. Again, he does blast beats so well because they're not just. He treats them like a riff, like we talked about earlier. He treats them like a riff, not like a driving factor of his drumming or part of the song. I love it.
Or use that as a crutch. He never uses that as a crutch.
I thought like this is him traveling to the whale place, right? And he's experiencing wild shit in the universe along the way. He's like, holy fuck, look at that thing. As my mind astral projects itself to this whale planet, and he's just seeing all the stuff the universe has to offer, and he's getting extremely humbled by the experience. The heaviest matter of the universe. Damn good song.
It's great. Yeah, within the story, it's about him astral projecting through the solar system, through the universe, on his way to Mars, because he's still not to Mars yet. Because remember, this is from Mars to Sirius. So he's still not to Mars yet, and he hasn't seen the true destruction of Earth and what happens after Earth humankind has been destroyed. So he's still in a very positive. He's looking at everything very positively still, and he's just amazed and blown away by everything he sees as he projects through the universe. And on a more personal level, I feel like this is like a part of the spiritual awakening of the singer, of Joe. And this could be whether it's meditation, transcendental meditation, it could be just praying, just be from a Christian standpoint, this could just be praying, because people do have these kind of these transformations when they accept God or Jesus into them. This is something that people really feel strongly about. And in that, it can be very frightening, this awakening, something that they've never experienced. That initial, yes, it's exciting, but it's also extremely frightening. And that's what the song also talks about is, yeah, I'm seeing all these beautiful things, but this is also terrifying. It's the fear of the unknown. And I really, once again, I love the lyrics on this record. I think you could just take this, you could throw this into the story, you could throw this on a personal level. And when you think about it, once again, these guys were young, they were mid-20s. I mean, this all lines up with at least, what I feel is most men's experience. I don't know, that I think it's great. I think it's fantastic.
I think that's fair too. It's not just like our personal experience, but like our friends, our outside, family members that are a little bit younger or older than us that go through the same exact thing.
Yeah.
And I think too, it's childish, right, to say like I'm the only person that's ever gone through this. It's a little bit more mature to understand that like everybody goes through this shit.
Yeah.
And it's even
varying degrees.
It's even more mature and just like a good songwriter to be like, yes, everybody goes through this shit. Here's my experience. Also put into story format. I think that's where we're at now, which is just like, damn, that's pretty good. You know what I mean?
I think it's fucking great.
Like so much pop punk, so much punk rock, so much of that stuff. It's just like, here's my experience with the same experience that everyone else goes through.
Here's my broken heart. Here's how I feel about my broken heart.
Like dime a dozen, right? But like here it is, like, yeah, it's the same thing everybody goes through, but put into like a good story format.
And I mean, I would even throw this up against like Dustin Kensrue from Thrice. When we did the artist in the ambulance, that to me, that was my favorite lyrics I've ever gone through. I think the way he incorporated his Christian beliefs into what he was getting into lyrically, all the metaphors he was using and all of that was just beautiful, and it was amazing. And I feel like this is much in that same vein. Maybe not directly Christian, but very, very spiritual in that sense. I love it.
I'm kind of I don't know.
I'm not Christian. I'm not. I respect it. I respect it and all that shit.
I was gonna say something super not kosher.
What were you gonna say? Now I'm curious.
It was good though. Can I say? I was just like, dude, you're like Charlie Kirk, bro. Like you're so Christian, but that's not.
Except I'm not dead yet.
Sure.
There you go.
That's not.
That's
really,
so
you're probably gonna take this out then because you said that.
No,
that
I'm not gonna. I'll probably forget this after we finish potting. I'm gonna be too toasty.
That's wild. But I think now I'm seeing this not as a spiritual thing, but more like a coming of age.
Okay,
like
and
that's kind of how we go through a coming of age, right? It's just it's a spiritual journey, and whether or not you choose religion as part of that spiritual journey, or whether or not you don't, right? It's part of your journey, and I think like now I didn't get as deep as you did into this with the lyrics. I did see like, oh yeah, this is clearly him talking about this and this, whatever. But I kept it more in line with the story. But now I'm leaning way more into this just like coming of age thing where he's accepting the things around him and doing what he can to be better and doing what he can to potentially change those things around him. And I like that.
Yeah, man, it's great. I
think
like
that.
And once again, I'm
record,
not
solid.
I'm not. I grew up Catholic, but I'm not Christian or anything like that. I think this is just a great way of coming of age. Actually, is the best way to explain it. It's a coming of age when you're in your mid-20s that most of us go through, and I think he just think he did it so well. But he didn't. There are very few moments on this record where he he gets into like more of like maybe a Christian aspect of it, and I'll get into that coming up. But
And the coming of age thing is because like when I was in college and certain things that I went through, and but I think we both went vegetarian for almost 6 months at one point.
yeah,
we
did.
we did it, and it was like, okay, cool. And like the Buddhist thing, that was the thing.
We did. Yes, I know. We went through
Like I
that
sold
same
everything
shit.
that I owned, and these are things that you explore. Like, do I want to do this? Do I want to be this? Do I believe in this? Like, I don't know. I'm fucking young, but really, all I want to do is get drunk on the weekends with my friends. But like, let's see what happens during the week, and that's all
Yeah.
part of, I don't know, coming of age, and
I agree.
that's cool. I like this. This record's good.
It's
This record's
great, man.
good.
It's
I
great.
like it.
So let's jump into Flying Whales. I think this might be the longest song on the record, 7 minutes 44 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, very mellow, subdued guitars to start it out. Some bass drums thrown in there. The whale sounds in the background. It's an interesting outro. I think the intro lasts maybe like a minute or 2 minutes, 2 minutes or something like that.
Yeah, 2.5 minutes, something like that.
Yeah. And then it just builds nice into just the heavy stuff. And I think at this point on the
Yeah.
record, I kind of stopped taking notes on the music and I focused more on the lyrics. So you might want to take over more musically.
Yeah, so like this is when I was talking about how when get like unicorn, I said like that's fucking crazy because you write that shit off like why the fuck is this here? It's stupid as fuck. But then we get into flying whales. Keep it kayfabe, dude. It's part of the story. Like these astral whales, and we first heard them in Unicorn. We first heard them in the opening, but we really first heard them in Unicorn, which was like clean and just like this instrumental jam, nothing crazy, nothing fancy. But it sets this song up. The jam here is fucking rad. Jean Michael, right, the bass player, he finally comes through, has some like deep and groovy bass part. Like Mario's laying down this jazzy riff with some cool shuffles, and like it's fucking cool. And then it transitioned into like the metal part. And I think the transition's fucking flawless. It keeps the same guitar riff, the same pace, and it just adds heavy distortion, and then just subsequently adds layer and layer and layer until it's a metal song. And like, how did we get here? I don't remember. So that's cool. Definitely a little preachy of a song.
Yeah.
But like the slower chuggy bits are wild. They're not traditional. They're not in a traditional gait that we usually hear in a song like this, right? The like a lot of like Limp Bizkit too. Limp Bizkit does a lot of like non-traditional kind of like pacing in their chugs, especially with Wes Borland doing it. He just kind of does where the fuck he wants, and hopefully everyone else keep up. And dude, the last instrumental bit of this is absolutely fucking crazy. It's so broken, you don't even know what is going on. You can listen to it several times and just follow each individual member and just get something just unique and cool. And again, just heavy Gojira pick scraping here at the very end. And I just like,
I love that.
God damn, I love it.
when they do that. I think it sounds so fucking rad. It's way
It's
cooler.
so jarring.
It is, and it's way cooler than any pinch harmonic. I just think, God, it just sounds incredible. It just sounds so cool. Love that.
And I'm obviously really new to Gojira, so I just, you don't hear people do this shit. And like now that I think about it, I hear some of the bands that some listens to, they will do that, but they're like 2015 to like now, and like, damn, bro, you just straight lifted that from Gojira, which is cool. I get that. And then one of the interviews I watched where some dude asked Joe how he does the pick scrape. I forgot what podcast it was on, but I watched the clip, and he's like, "How do you do that?" And he's like, "Just so you know, like if you had $1 for every band that like replicated your pick scrape, you'd be a millionaire." And he's like, "That's cool. Like, I'm glad." It's like, damn, bro, you're like the most unhateable dude that's ever been alive.
Everything I've read about these guys, they seem so down to earth, and they just seem like
Just
really
so
really
chill.
dudes. And it's been the same
really
lineup.
want a better life for everybody.
Yeah, like it's really been the same lineup. They had a different bass player like the first 6 months they were a band, but this is in 1997. So you know,
exactly.
they've been the same band ever since. And that's really telling about them as people, as their character, all that kind of stuff.
And they're just still putting out like just relevant stuff, not just stuff, but relevant stuff.
Yes, we may not like some of their newer stuff, but I understand in the context of the scene and metal, their music is still very relevant. And you know, with gent music coming in, I think that's like maybe early 2010s when gent music started, that whole genre started to come in. But gent was using a lot of that the what is it? What you call it? The pick scrapes. The pick scrapes.
Yeah,
That's
it's not even a pick.
Jen.
He doesn't use a pick. He uses his fucking
finger,
hand.
yeah, or his hand. But I mean, that's very, very gent. You hear it on all. I mean, I don't care for that genre. I like it in moderation when bands do it. But yeah, it's all over that genre, all over that fucking genre. But
Yeah,
and
so
it's based off of this. I mean, this is 2005, and Jen didn't come in until as far as I understand, early 2010s. So it makes sense.
So like Flying Whales is my 3B. I love this song. I love it because I think this is like their most proggy song on the record. How we get from like essentially Unicorn into just fucking metal Gojira is wild.
Mm-hmm.
It never feels like, okay, that's where they change the song. It's this gradual build. And not just that, but it builds off of Unicorn into Flying Whales. And I think it's just an incredible song. This could be my number one. That's my 3. So
that's great. So within the context of the story, you know, it's about finding the path the whales took back to the maker on this distant planet on Mars. And that's what it is. So it's trying to find their way. He's trying to find his way to the maker, and then eventually finding the maker. Now on a more personal level, I think this is about death and the afterlife. You die because he's talked about previously in this record, talking about self-doubt, depression, anxiety, all that kind of stuff, you know. And when you get to that point, especially when you're in your teens and early mid-20s, you're just thinking about that stuff a lot. You think like you said, a quarter life crisis. You know, you start thinking about all this shit, and you start having this kind of coming of age spiritual awakening. And so he's thinking about death. He's thinking about what happens after you die, the afterlife. And the whales represent angels in this. That's what I think it is. The whales represent the angels taking you from your physical body to essentially heaven, let's just say. Because there's a lot of references to light, to clouds, to a higher being. And like I said, the whales are essentially the angels guiding the person from their physical form to heaven. Because the end of the song, lyrically, it speaks a lot of clouds, and we all know clouds are representative of heaven. That's just what we see. Like,
yeah.
And looking to the sky, I mean, all of that kind of shit. It's all very much, maybe not Christian per se, but it's still very, I think it's very Christian based. But it may have other elements to it. But that's what I like about
spiritual. Spiritual. Like the more you talk about this, the more I because my notes are very heavily into the kayfabe of it all, rather than Joe's perspective. But I think they go fucking like hand in hand. So this is him actually reaching the some type of terrestrial being or celestial being, be it whales or whatever. But they don't talk. They don't talk to him, right? They somehow pass this great knowledge onto him, and he can hear them and he can understand them, but they don't talk. But that's the same fucking thing, right? You go to like this otherworldly heaven or spiritual being, and you see these, be it angels or whatever the fuck it is, and you feel safe, you feel warm, and they don't say a goddamn word to you, but somehow you understand everything, and they're telling you all this knowledge, and that's fucking wild. That's like some coming of age thing, right? Where you're heavily invested in something, church or I don't know, protesting or whatever the fuck you want to do, but like you see all these things and you're processing all this information. No one's actually talking to you, but in your mind you're processing it, and you've come to this realization. And I think that's the same thing here. What he's talking about, like I see these whales and they're talking to me, but they're not really talking to me. I'm going to this because it's super easy to put in like protesting terms because what's happening right now. I'm going to this protest and no one's actually talking to me, but I'm processing all this information and I'm becoming a different person because of what I'm seeing, even though no one's actually talking to me personally.
It's great, man.
I don't know. I like that.
I think it's fantastic. Yes.
That's rad.
Yes. And so then we get into In the Wilderness, 7 minutes 47 seconds long. This song is relentless. It's relentless in its heaviness and aggression, and it makes sense in the context of the lyrics, I feel, because the lyrics do touch upon, like, it touches upon, because so this is him arriving at Mars, and Mars in some interpretations means war and almost violence in a sense, and then Sirius kind of represents peace and all of that. So he's arriving to Mars, and now we're seeing kind of the destruction of Earth, of humankind, of Earth and humankind. But where he's at in the story where he's at, he's watching this all unfold back on Earth, but now he's reached it, and now he's seen essentially the tree of life. He's seen where things come from, like kind of like not the start of the universe, but where the kind of life begins, and how things just happen in cycles and just happen over and over again. And that's where we're at story wise. What do you have musically on this one?
I agree. Just like story wise, right? Like and keeping kayfabe here. He's coming across this. He's coming across his terrestrial planet of some sort. Whether in his journey, it's a loose journey, so take that as you will. And he's like, "Dude, this is fucking dope. I wish my home was like this." And then we'll find out later on that this kind of was your home at some point. But I so like from the beginning, I love this guitar riff. I think it has its own melody, especially in the fucking chorus. And then Joe just screams, right? Yeah. Sometimes in the chorus, like we talked about, the choruses are kind of weak in comparison to their fucking dope-ass verses. This is one where I love the chorus because it has a melody. But Joe, like, takes a step back. He's like, I got to do something. Let me just scream and let the guitar and the melody do its thing, instrumental-wise. And it's fucking cool. This reminds me of all like the shitty metalcore bands that try and do something like this that's wild and great and just over the top, but just have never achieved anything close to this. The slower, chuggy guitars over the double bass, always fucking cool. And then both instrumental bits are absolutely dope. They're tight. They're full of just noise, where one guitar is riffing and hitting like the slower notes in the melody. The other is just filling up space. And what I didn't like about other Gojira albums is when they're doing the higher, jangly, super distorted guitars. It's essentially just being like a keyboardist at that point. This isn't like that. We're getting a lot of those parts, those pick scrapes here.
I love that shit. And like, it sounds so good in this song.
The drumming follows both guitar parts, right? He's following when it's going parts, the drummers the double bass real quick. But then the slower parts, the drums following like the lead guitar, the palm muted chug kind of thing. So like Mario's all over the place. Mario drives these songs and keeps the beat going. And I don't know. Well, this would have been like my 5B, I guess, if I were to rank it as such.
Very good. This is seriously the wildest song. Even like the break during the song, the bridge, I guess you would call it. It's still fucking brutal, man. Even when there's just like
slow ass part.
Yes, like everything about this song.
Crazy.
This is literally the most brutal song on the record. It's gnarly. So lyrically, I think that's where what I talked about earlier. You know, in the context of the story and watching the Earth and humankind being destroyed, but also understanding, you know, this is where kind of life begins too. You know, everything's cyclical. You know, civilizations, humankind, everything is cyclical. Spiritually, I think, you know, I guess from a spiritual level, I think this is kind of has the same meaning. This is the point where in the afterlife, he's reached heaven. He's reached a place in the universe where all life stems from. You know, whether you believe in reincarnation or you just believe in the afterlife in general, this is where you end up going after you die, after you leave your physical form. And honestly, I know you haven't read the books and you're probably going to make fun of me for this, for being childish, but this reminds me so much of the Chronicles of Narnia. The 7 book. Okay, hear me out. Because
7 books?
7 books, yes. The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is the 2nd book, which is one of my favorite books of all time. But anyway, C.S. Lewis, the author of the Chronicles of Narnia, he was, in all of his books, all of his stories, everything had a Christian undertone, an underlying moral meaning, every single one of his books. And the Chronicles of Narnia, the way they're set up, it goes from Genesis to Revelations. So in the first book, Magician's Nephew, there are many parts in the book that actually sound like this song lyrically. So I feel, this is just my opinion, I feel like Joe writing the lyrics, he probably took a lot of inspiration, not only from the Bible, but also maybe even the Chronicles of Narnia. Like certain aspects of that first book, even the last book, the 7th book, a lot of elements from both of those books relate to this specific song. Watching how life grows on other planets, on other planes of existence, because that's what the Chronicles of Narnia books really go over in the first and last book, are the planes of different planes of existence. And Aslan himself, the lion, is essentially God. And then that's really kind of, I mean, it's extremely loose, and it's way deeper than that. And anybody listening who is a critic of C.S. Lewis, I get it. He's a Christian apologist. A lot of people have an issue with that. But on a certain more surface level here, I feel like there's a lot of inspiration from the Chronicles of Narnia and all that kind of shit. I don't know. I think whatever. I don't.
I was
care.
gonna say like you said, a lot of people. I don't like him because he fucking writes books, but
No, but a lot of like
I should-
hardcore Christian theologians and shit like that, they don't like C.S. Lewis because he was more of an apologist. He didn't follow the Bible as strictly as a lot of people as people believe he should have. But I think the morals in his stories and his writing style was just amazing. I think C.S. Lewis is one of the greatest authors ever. But anyway, I feel like there's a lot of comparing or relations to
sexual relations.
the Chronicles of Narnia. Let's just say that.
Mark Henry, sexual chocolate.
So anyway, let's get into World to Come. We're almost done here. There's 12 tracks. We're on track 9. This is 6 minutes and 52 seconds. Instrumental intro, more upbeat, lighthearted, and musically overall, it's very uplifting. Even with the screaming vocals, it's very uplifting.
Yeah. I always dig a change of pace when it comes to like these type of albums, especially if they can keep in theme with the album.
Mm-hmm.
I think their music is so deliberate on this record. I like how playful the bass gets to be here. Like sometimes he's just climbing up the neck and he's able to drop back down to the low notes. Other times he's playing with the vocal melody and just making a note matching. Same with the guitar and the vocals. They'll match up sometimes. I think that's cool. I don't know. It's just cool, like kind of like alt metal sound mixed with like their normal metal shtick that they got going on. Mm-hmm. Like how dark the song gets later on, and we get like cool drum beats out of Mario. Like the song builds and it gets in some cool places later on. What do you keep laughing for?
I mean, you're just saying Mario.
That's his fucking name. How do you know his name's Mario and not Mario?
I mean, it could be. I don't know. I don't speak French.
Because I know fucking. I've played Super Mario Brothers. Like, come on, that's fucking a little close-minded now.
A little bit, but musically, I think this is what I was talking about earlier in the episode, where I feel like sometimes his screaming vocal or his vocals just don't match the song, and this is one of them. He really should have changed it up and been a little bit softer, more ethereal, rather than just be overly aggressive. It just doesn't quite fit the instrumental part of it.
I like that shit.
Like some Deftones kind of shit.
Or maybe just not sing. You could just not sing in most of the song. Yeah. Let it just kind of be an instrumental. That would have been fine. Yeah.
It's cool. So
it's fine.
Lyrically, in the context of the story, it's him viewing Earth from above, from Mars, and just seeing things change, and if there was peace, how it would just be paradise and blissful. But but humankind is just not on that path. They're on the path of destruction. So he just hopes for paradise and bliss and peace in general. But it's just deep down he knows it's not going to happen. And then on a more personal level, I feel like this is the narrator finding his paradise in the afterlife, and that everything is just beautiful and unreal. And, when you're growing up, this is kind of one of the things you're kind of told, like when you die, you go to heaven and everything you love and everything is going to be beautiful and perfect and blah, 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 and all that stuff. And this is his hope, after he dies. This is what gives him faith in whatever it is and hope for what's to come in the afterlife. That's what this is. This song is all about hope. That's how
yeah. I feel. I mean, I agree. Just on a more kayfabe level, it's like he sees what could be of Earth, right? He sees like, damn, this could be us, because he talks about like I just looked at myself, and that's like him looking at Earth and the history of what could be, and the beautiful planet that doesn't exist anymore, but it could exist if he gets his shit together, and thus humanity gets his shit together. And he talks about like he takes off and he looks down and he's like, fuck, man. Then he talks about like, do you even try to find yourself? So it's like, do we care enough to change what we're doing right now to save our planet? And so I think it's about looking down on like a macro level and saying, here is our planet now, but here's what it could be if we want it to be.
Yes, I love it.
If we want to change.
Yeah. But people don't want to change. That's the thing. Society doesn't want to change.
It's going to make Earth great again.
Yeah. It's 2005, long before Trump was in office. Isn't that weird to think about, like, where we were at in 2004, 2005, when this record was created? We were just getting into the Iraq War. You know, we were just graduating high school, the Iraq War here in the U.S. at least.
They were trying to recruit us to go to the Iraq War.
Yeah, they literally had military recruiters at our high school.
We had Sergeant Bofa coming to our fucking high school.
And I almost signed up. I almost signed up for the Marines. I was this close to signing up for the Marines. Thankfully, I did not do that. Because my friends who did go, they were fucked up afterwards.
John and I signed up. We signed like a pledge. And then my dad, and I think John's dad too, called and they were like, don't you fucking talk to my kid anymore.
As we were 17 years old, yeah.
That's wild.
It's some predatory shit the military does.
He's like, oh yeah, you join together. You'll enlist together. We'll put you in boot camp together. You'll never leave each other's side. Sure. Sign here. And I'm like, okay. Dumb.
Oh yeah. It's terrible. All right, so anyway, let's get into the next song, From Mars. We're almost done here. Once again, we're almost done
From
here.
Mars.
The shortest song on the record, 2 minutes, 24 seconds. Very subdued song, and surprisingly, it's not an instrumental. So it's just him kind of, I mean, the song kind of trudges along. It's quieter, and subdued, like I said. But it's an intro. Yes, yeah, I guess it's an intro, yeah.
It's an intro to Sirius. To Sirius.
Yeah.
Right? Like
it is. Yeah.
Clean guitar driven. It serves a purpose. It's a dialogue thing that's supposed to like take us someplace as well as like prop up Sirius. It's a fucking intro. I don't on its own again. Like I don't like it or whatever. But I get why it exists. It's just and like lyrically, it's this inner monologue thing that the speaker's having while he's traveling or he's on his journey. And again, like in the spiritual realm, it's just him like, fuck man, who am I really? What am I supposed to be as an adult? The coming of age thing. And he realizes that at some point like he has to take accountability for his life moving forward. So what type of person am I going to be? And like going back to what you say, like we've done a lot of wild things in our day, and like we've met a lot of good people, but we've fucked over a lot of people too. And it's part of the coming of age thing, right? It's part of it's part of growing up, and there are a lot of things that we probably wish we could do over.
Oh, absolutely.
And there's probably a lot of people that we probably need to apologize to.
Yes.
But it's growing up. And I think From Mars is that thing, is that little part where you're like, fuck man, I'm kind of a dick. And then Too Serious is where we'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, I think From Mars is that specific part where you realize like, damn, I was kind of an ass. Who do I want to be?
Yeah,
this is you. I didn't think about this till right now when you were talking about the spiritual journey. And
yeah, I mean, I have very similar things written about this one, story wise, leaving Mars because of all the destruction and violence, and then going to Sirius, finding peace and that's where all the answers lie. That's essentially what you want on like a mortal level, on a spiritual level. That's what you want. You want to know the answers to everything. As a human, you want to know the answers to everything. And the idea is once you die and you go to the afterlife, that's where everything's going to be answered. Like, why does this happen? Why do these people die? Why don't I die? You know, everything is answered in the afterlife. And also in the song, I feel like this is him realizing he's meant for better things. Getting the courage to step out of his comfort zone and be a better person, which is also goes in line with the story too, because it's him not just watching the destruction of humankind on Earth and all of that. It's him realizing like I can make a difference. I could do better for not only myself but for the world and for humans, and that's why he takes the journey to Sirius. So I think that's how to me that's how the story and on a personal level, they relate in this very short song. So
Good.
we get into Sirius at
We in the
this
series,
point.
baby.
5 minutes 37 seconds. These last two songs, I have no notes for the music. I mean, this is just we're getting into heavy. The only thing I have to say, the last two songs, just heavy, aggressive, punch you in the face music. That's what these last two songs.
Yeah.
The Sirius and global warming. That's what it is. So, do you
Yeah.
specifically on this song?
Dude, Sirius is like my 4B, and I wish I could pair it with like From Mars to Sirius because I think
Better.
they absolutely
one
need to
song.
go together.
Yeah.
But what a fucking drop in From Mars into Sirius, even though like both of those songs are called those things. What a drop in From Mars to Sirius.
Yeah.
It's fucking heavy, dude. It goes someplace. It tells a story musically. Some of the guitar riffing is so out of character for the record too, almost playful. Like that main 1-2 riff, like that thing, that's wild. I love the dirty vocals. This song is incredible. I love it. 5 minutes of just absolute bliss.
Yeah, just punch you in the face. That's really what this is.
I think for me, it's like that.
Yeah, I know exactly what part you're
that
talking
fucking
about.
riff, man. It's so cool.
There's some, I mean, throughout a lot of their records, there's some great kind of dueling guitar playing, or just like maybe not dueling, but just kind of like playing off of each other or harmonizing. Good layering, yeah.
Harmonizing, yeah.
There's some great. There's some great moments, like on what song is it? Now I can't remember. It's off of L'Enfant. Ah, damn it.
Les Incompetents.
Home Alone. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. There's some great harmonizing between the guitar playing on this particular song. I think it's fantastic. Now, lyrically, this is him arriving to Sirius, and him and the human race are being judged for what they've done, how they've destroyed the planet, how they've destroyed what they were given, what they were gifted, I should say, by the makers. And he realizes that, wow, like this is not the answer I was looking for, but this is the answer that I need to accept, because yeah, we fucked up. Like we fucked up bad. And there's nothing I could do. Like he comes to this he came for answers, but it wasn't the answer he was looking for. Spiritually, personally, I feel like this is him getting to the afterlife and then being judged. Let's just say from a Christian standpoint. I can't speak for other religions. I could barely even speak for Christianity. But let's just say, you
can speak.
I rarely speak, but you reach the pearly gates. You confess your sins. It's the final judgment from God, and in the end, no matter what happens, God is all forgiving, and you found pure bliss, pure happiness. That's what it comes down to. As long as you believed, that's all that matters. You can be forgiven for whatever you've done. I mean, that's a very, very, very naive, and not naive, but very basic way of kind of viewing it all. But I feel like that goes hand in hand with what the story is telling at this point. It's like, well, I made it to this point thinking this is what it was going to be. I admit to what's happening, but what am I going to do? It's just that you have to accept what you have, or what's happening and how people are judging you. That's what it is for me. On this
Okay, I get that. I mean, again, my notes are very, very kayfabe, but I like the idea that this guy. And I guess we can go global warming and then go through the story and of how because of what you have been saying, how I view the story differently.
Okay.
But let's get into global warming, close it up, and then I'll do my little story real quick. And then final thoughts.
I mean, I don't have a lot on global warming, musically or even lyrically. Musically though, I love the guitar playing. That diddly diddly diddly, just the finger tapping.
Dude.
I love the tapping.
It drives the song forward.
It
That
does.
main riff drives the song.
So
it's fucking
great.
so sick. And I like that it can change itself a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not just like doodle 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 doodle, but there's a little bit of phrasing changes, a little nuance to it.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like quite repetitive. But the drum beat behind it is fucking dope. And again, Mario changes it up just a little bit, but we don't want to change it too much because this isn't like a wanky Van Halen song. This is something that's supposed to be serious. This is the closer. This is like the big fucking ending to the song. And like the last minute or two is just cool because it gets into this dope just groove with the melody, and everyone's just all right, let it go, right? Just like drift off into space. I like
Yes,
that.
I agree, and I mean, going with in the context of the song, this is detailing kind of like the end of humankind and of Earth, you know, kind of the direct aftermath of the end of humankind, the end of Earth, but then also how everything is kind of cyclical as well. And this is where the song musically comes in too, because with all the tapping and everything and the heavy chugging, the trudging along, there's a lot of tension musically. There's a lot of tension, and that leads to like how I know, I just the tension in the music I feel matches the lyrics perfectly well, or just perfect, not perfectly well, that's a stupid thing to say, but perfectly. um I don't know, that's really all I have on this song.
These
That
are these are
I don't have anything
these
too
are
deep
pretty
on this.
like these are like pretty cryptic though, because like on the one hand, there's a story of whales and woe. See, I read books. Um,
You listen to the
but
One Less Label record.
well, that's I mean, okay, but
I know, I'm
it's
kidding.
it's
Continue.
it's a spiritual journey of like of a coming to age thing, and I think like from Mars to Sirius may be like the most important part of this journey because in the beginning, this is going to go into my wrap up. Do you have anything else?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Continue.
So in the beginning of the record, let's just imagine he's thinking about like his life, and he's like, "Fuck, I'm old enough now. I need to do something in my life." And he goes through all these things, and he gets to Mars, and this is where he realized, like, "Holy fuck, I need to do something because like the rest of my life is going to essentially be dictated by this age group, this age gap, and for us specifically to bring it home was in that 17 to 22 range. Like that's really the foundational years of our lives.
I would agree.
I think who we were at 17 is pretty much who we still are today, give or take a couple different things. But like we really haven't changed since we were 17, right?
Yeah, in a
Our
lot of aspects.
what we want to be, like deep inside, like we're pretty much the same people. They like I said, give or take a couple things here or there. And so from Mars is that like here, okay, I need to be somebody different. I need to change, or like this is it. And then too serious, SIR, not like I don't be too serious, but like too serious is him doing it. Is him like a thing? Okay, that's who I want to be. How do I get there? And then global warming is him doing it. Is him saying, okay, here is how I can do make the change. And that's why it ends with like we see our children grow, and that's him saying like I want to make this a better life for everybody, not just me, not necessarily like my child, but for the generations to come. I want to make the earth a better place. I want to make myself a better person so people want to be around me. It's just weird. This I don't know. I didn't think of it this way before we did the pod. This is like this him coming to age thing of wanting to just be a better dude.
This makes the interpretation, or this makes the lyrics even better because now we have multiple interpretations. We have the main story. We have my interpretation. We have your interpretation, which is different than mine. You take a more, a more human approach to this one. I took a more spiritual approach to it.
It's definitely a more like personal thing.
Yeah.
Like here's my like me. Here's how I would go through this. Also go through the motions. But it's cool, man, because global warming, especially at the end, like we see our children grow, or whatever the fuck he says, that could be either like we see our children grow, let's start a family, I have kids, and I want to make it better for them, or we see our children grow as like a loss of hope. Like we see our children grow, and they're just going to grow up to die. What's the point, right? An act of futility. So I like that, and maybe depending on like the person, whether or not you're like an optimist or a pessimist or a realist, who knows? You can interpret that. And he says that fucking thing like 15, 20, 30 times. And that's cool. That's cool, man. That's
sure,
cool,
bro.
man.
Oh, man. All right. So that's kind of your overall thoughts, your kind of wrap up on this one.
Yeah. I guess that was do we do like my wrap up and I rank it and then you do your wrap up? I don't even fucking remember.
No. Yeah. Do you wrap up, rank it? And we have a 3-point rating system where 3 is a perfect album, 2 is a good album you're going to continue to listen to. 1 is a bad album, but give it a shot. And 0 is the worst thing you've ever heard. So, I mean, if you have more of the wrap up, get into it.
I don't know how we do things on the pod anymore.
You're so disoriented from all of this. But
I'm so disoriented.
We do the wrap up and then you do your ranking and then I'll do my wrap up and do the ranking and then we'll finish. That's how we do
Yeah,
it.
that was my interpretation of it. I think, man, Gojira has been fucking dope this week. It's been a really really fun listen. It's just like Tool was. We're Tooligans.
Yeah, we
Just
are
like
Tooligans
next
now.
week's probably going to be just Proxy has been fun.
It's been so
So,
much fun. I'm excited for the next at least 2 weeks because maybe we might even extend prog season. I
we
don't
might
fucking
even
know.
extend Prog season. I don't fucking know either.
But we got
I
2
don't
great
know.
prog bands coming up before King Crimson. So good.
Yeah. This was cool. Again, it's only been a week, so these rankings could change. I could love this more. I could hate this more. But reading these lyrics was fun because I took them at face value, and then as we did this in real time, I kind of just related to my like personal experience, which I didn't even. I just kind of glossed. I don't want to say I glossed over the lyrics. I didn't read them all, but it was more like I wanted to really get into the story of it all, which the story compared to the enlightenment of you, the coming of age thing is who gives a fuck. But this is cool, man. This is some next level shit. I don't know, 2.6, 2.6,
Not bad.
2.6, 2.7 maybe. I don't know.
Not bad
I don't
at all.
know. I like it a lot. I really enjoyed it.
All
Where's
right.
it going?
All right, fine. So my wrap up final thoughts and ranking on this record. I think Gojira, I think they're fantastic. I mean, everything they put out has been good, at least good. Nothing bad outside of like 2 songs. Outside of that, everything has been good to great, if not amazing. This record in particular, I think this isn't their strongest musically, but once again, we've only spent a week with this band. You know, we've listened to these records more than twice, or at least twice, I should say.
But it's been a week.
But it's been a week. It's honestly been a week. So this could become my favorite record. I don't know. I haven't dove into the lyrics on the other records, but I think the records on here, I think I love them. I just, once again, this is one of my favorite episodes we've done lyrically. This is up there with the Thrice episode we did. People may make fun of me on this, but the Treyu episode we did on Suicide Notes, I loved Alex's lyrics on that one. There have been a few other episodes too where I truly love the lyrics. I think some of these guys are great lyricists, and what's so great about Joe and this band is that yes, there's the theme of the concept of the record, but the way he broke the way you can interpret these lyrics is just amazing. You can look at the overall concept that was told to you beforehand and relate all these songs to that, or you could take it on a more, like I did, on a spiritual religious level. You took it on a more coming of age level, and I see your point. Your points make just as much sense as I feel mine did, and the concept that Joe was trying to throw out when this record came out. But that's just kind of the beauty of these lyrics and how great of a songwriter he is, and this band is.
It's true.
Musically, I mean, this album just fucking rips. It fucking rips. And really, my top 4 records with this band, I'm just splitting hairs as to why I like one more than the other. I think, I mean, they're all just so goddamn fucking good. My top 4 records of theirs, outside of Magma and Fortitude and Magma are the only records that I would never get on vinyl. I don't really care too much for. But otherwise, I love this record from Mars to Sirius. I give this a 2.75 out of 3. 2.75 out of 3. But once again, I've only spent a week with it. This could be a perfect 3 out of 3 for me as I go through, listen to it more and more over time. So this has been wild. It's been great. So
yeah,
we're still in prog season. We got 3 more weeks of prog season at least, and hope you guys all enjoyed. And thank you all for listening. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. If you're watching on YouTube, you smash that subscribe button, and that's it. That's all. I know.
I know everything about Mastodon. I'm fucking a master. Fucking
no, I'm not though. I'm not like the biggest.
I know everything. Get the fuck out of here. You don't know shit about anything. You literally know less about everything than nobody could ever know.
That was fucking retarded.